frozen zucchini in an orange zucchini bread. This recipe is perfect for the holidays, and I even sneak in some super healthy ingredients. Hey, Nadia here, and today we're making orange zucchini bread. So this is a really fun recipe for the holidays. I'm using cranberries, oranges, and even goji berries. So it's going to be nice and colorful, and these are all really fun flavors for Christmas, for the holidays, and for winter in general. Here are the ingredients that you're going to need for this recipe. We need some grated zucchini, frozen or fresh, it doesn't really matter. We also need some flour. I'm using regular all-purpose flour. We need some sugar, baking powder, baking soda, and we need something to make it, to replace the egg. So this is a vegan recipe. I'm using something called Energy Egg Replacer. And then for the flavors, we're going to use a whole orange. We're going to use both the zest and the juice of one whole orange. For some color, I want to add in cranberries and goji. And then some oil, olive oil or coconut oil, whichever is fine. For the frosting, you need some vegan butter, coconut butter. And as always, you can get this recipe and all of the others that I've shared over in my free downloadable recipe book. The link is down below this video. Let's start with mixing up all the ingredients in a big bowl. We'll start with some all-purpose flour and some sugar, baking soda and baking powder. And then let's just get all of those dry ingredients mixed together. And then for the egg replacer, so I'm using this thing called Energy Egg Replacer. If you want to go with something a little bit more natural, you can use a flax egg. And then all you do, if you're making a flax egg or using this powder, you essentially just mix a small amount of the dry ingredients, so the powder or the ground up flax, with a little bit of water. So mix it up, and then I'm just going to pour that in. All right, now that we've got all of our dried ingredients together, we're gonna start to put in some of the flavor, get this really tasting like the holidays, right? So I'm gonna use some orange zest for this. I'm just using a handy microplane grater, and then just zest. I'm gonna use half of the orange in the dough part, like the bread part of this recipe, and then I'm gonna use the other half of the zest in the icing. So don't use the whole thing just yet. Scrape it all off the zester, because there's a lot of zest that just gets stuck on the zester, so make sure you take that off too. And then I'm going to use the other half of the zest in the icing, but if you've ever tried to zest a citrus fruit after you've opened it or peeled it or juiced it, it's really, really hard. It's so much easier to zest it when it's still whole like this. So I'm actually going to zest the other half of the orange into my icing bowl, and then I can use the juice, because it's just so much easier if you do it that way. And now we want to add the juice of this orange into the bowl. So this one has some seeds in it. I am going to use a lemon juicer. You can get these bigger in orange juicer, but this is a small enough orange that I can fit it in here. So I'm going to use this handy dandy dude and squeeze it in. It's coming together. So the orange juice is acting as some of the liquid in this recipe. We're also going to be putting some oil in. And then of course the zucchini. So this has been thawed. It's hard to do it when it's frozen, so thaw it out. You can just put it in a bowl of water. I just did that maybe half an hour ago and it's already fine and thawed. I'm putting in the whole thing. So I'm putting all the juices and everything into this recipe. It's gonna act as some of the liquid for this recipe as well. I don't actually drain my frozen zucchini. Some people do, and you can if you really want to, but you'll need to add in some alternative liquid. So I don't mind this. I don't find any concerns with the texture or anything like that. So I put the whole thing, and then there's no waste. Okay, and then the last thing that I want to do is just throw in some dried goji berries. I'm using the ones that are sweetened with juice because it's a little healthier than the ones that are sweetened with sugar. The only thing that I find with some of these more naturally dried and sweetened fruits is that they don't have that same vibrant color. So just a handful in the actual bread itself, and then we're going to put more in the icing. You can chop it if you want, just roughly, kind of in half maybe. That's good. And then stir everything together. It's a little bit thick, and it's supposed to be, so don't worry about the texture right now. It's not like a really runny batter or anything. It's kind of a thick batter. Now, if you don't want to make this with the icing, definitely just make the bread or even make the little cupcake version ones. And then for the cupcakes, I'm just going to take a cupcake scoop, or an ice cream scoop rather. And these will puff up, so you don't need to fill it all the way. And then once your oven is preheated to 350, then you just want to bake it in there for about half an hour or so. I'll have the detailed steps in the link down below with the full recipe book. But about half an hour or so. You just want, when you put a toothpick in, to come out clean. That's like the standard whenever you're baking. Same thing with this recipe. All right, while our zucchini bread is baking, let's get on to preparing the icing, because this is a holiday dessert after all. We want to make it nice and sweet and fun and still healthy. So I'm going to use some vegan butter. I have Earth Balance here, whatever you'd like, it doesn't matter. And then some coconut butter. You can use coconut butter. This is vegan, so I want to make sure all the ingredients are animal free. And then I already added my zest when I was preparing the bread. Remember, we put in half of the zest when we were doing the bread, so that's all good to go. If you hadn't done that, then add the zest in now. So now that we've added our butter and our coconut butter and zest, we want to cream it up. We want to make this nice and smooth and creamy, and that we're going to do with a stand mixer or your handheld mixer, whichever. And then once that's all creamed up, then you want to add in our icing sugar. So I'm just going to use a sifter like this. And then we want to blend it again after we've added the sugar. So once you've got all of that mixed together, you can take it off the mixer, and we want to add in some more chopped cranberries and then the goji berries as well. Now I'm going to put my goji berries on top because they're really, really bright and red, but you can stir it in if you want to. It really is up to you. And then for the icing, I would definitely chop up the cranberries in this case, because you don't want huge chunks of cranberry in your icing. In the bread, it's not so bad, but in the icing, I would chop it up at least into thirds, each cranberry. I like making this ahead of time, like right when the zucchini bread is in the oven, because it allows the orange flavor, the orange zest that we put into the icing, to really, really infuse in the flavor of the whole icing. So if you could smell my kitchen right now, it is so good. It smells like orange, it smells like the holidays, I love it. And then once your zucchini bread has cooled down, you can frost it. So we have our frosting sitting over here. Just stir it back up if you need to, if it's kind of separated. And then spread it evenly over your zucchini bread. And just try to get the cranberries evenly distributed so that everyone gets a little piece. That's really yummy. It's really, really orangey. Like, you can really taste, because I have orange zest in the bread and I have orange zest in the icing. So you're definitely getting that hit of orange. You're getting the healthy benefit from the zucchini, and if you're using goji berries, you get the goji berries too. If you're new to goji berries, just do a few, because it's got a distinct flavor on its own that you may or may not want a lot of. It's a really good one, so you're getting the indulgent sort of sweetness for the holidays, but you know that you're getting some healthy ingredients as well. Cupcake version ones, these are really nice, super easy to eat, and then you can just take these on the go. Now, these ones I feel like would be nice with a little bit of like vegan butter or just some spread. I like just a little bit of vegan butter on it, is really nice for these ones, but nice to just have on the go. And then these are super healthy. You don't have to worry about anything with with the little cupcakes. So definitely freeze your zucchini next summer if you grow your own or if you buy from local farms. freeze it and keep it for recipes like this, because this is the kind of thing that you get all that benefit from with your summer harvest. And if you try this recipe, I'd love to hear about it. You can leave a comment down below, or you can tag me over on Instagram. I'm at Embracing Harvest. Or even on Pinterest, you can just mark tried it on that pin and then leave a picture, comments, all that good stuff. And I definitely think that you're gonna love it. Either the zucchini bread with the icing or the to-go muffins. They're both really nice options for the holidays or just for the winter months. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you in the next one.